What is up, everybody? My name's Shan. Today we're taking a look at a Boros Winota deck that is strong enough to take down OMNATH, strong enough to take down clerics, and I'd be willing to bet my money that it's strong enough to take down rogues. We didn't actually see that within the footage, but you get the point. This is a very, very strong Winota deck, utilizing some cards that you wouldn't normally think would see play, but they are here, and I'm super excited and happy to be the one to bring it to you today. So, without further ado, let's dive into this beautiful deck that had the 100% win rate, the comeback king, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, one copy of Alseid, and I know what you're thinking, Chance, I hate one-offs in decks, but in all reality, in best of 3 format, which is where we're playing this today, you need them. You really do need them because you're able to get so much value in those niche games, and since in best of 3 you're essentially playing twice as many games against the same opponents, you have more opportunities of hitting these. Anyways, it's a non-creature, it has lifelink, it's a beautiful pickup for the Maul of the Skyclaves and at protecting all of your other creatures. Giant killer, 2 off. Well, we have so many OMNATHs and big ass creatures running around the meta right now. The chop down's fantastic. 2 mana, tap target creature, that allows you to really just get in and finish out the games. So for 1 mana, this creature is almost irreplaceable in this deck. How good it is. 4 copies of Selfless Savior. It's a non-human, it gives your creatures indestructible, and you don't have to sink mana into it to protect it. That is the most beautiful thing about this card, right? Spikefield Hazard, 1 mana for this instant speed, you know, exile something if you deal, or if you kill it with the 1 damage. It's good. We've seen this card a lot in the aggro decks, and that's because it's a fantastic card. But again, you don't want to overplay it, so just 2 copies should be fun. Speaking of one of those super spicy cards that you didn't think you would see, but we're getting to see it, is Kor Blademaster. So 2 mana for this 1/1 that has double strike, and it reads equipped warriors you control have double strike. So, a couple cool things about this. Kor Blademaster coupled with Luminarch Aspirant 1 can get really big, really scary, and gives you that same sort of Embercleave feel minus the trample, right? But you put counters on it, you get a 2/2 with double strike, 3/3 with double strike. It gets ridiculous very quick, and then of course you have your Selfless and Alseid to protect it. Now, on top of that, we also have Maul of the Skyclaves in the deck, which means, you guessed it, when we have Maul come down and attach onto a warrior, be it Kargan or Seasoned or our Winota, they're going to gain double strike and flying and +2/+2. So now we just turned our Seasoned Hollowblade into a flying 5/5 double striker, right? Which is a lot of damage, needless to say. Luminarch Aspirant, as we just sort of glanced over there, 2 mana for this 1/1 at the beginning of combat on your turn. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. This is really good at building up your forces and making them, well, stronger. Seasoned Hollowblade, it's super hard to kill this card. Now, if your opponent's running Brazen Borrowers, obviously it's not nearly as good, but I do actually still recommend it in those matchups because of the Indestructible. The Indestructible against the Bonecrusher Giants it's huge. It's very, very key. And, you know, 2 mana is not a ton to sink into this. So 2 mana, 3/1. It is also a warrior, which means, again, when you equip things, it will get aided by the Kor Blademaster. Kargan Intimidator, 2 mana for this 3/1. Cowards can't block warriors, so you can just immediately shut down one of your opponent's creatures by paying 1 and then selecting it to turn it into a coward. Furthermore, Kargan Intimidator gets +1/+1 until end of turn if you pay 1, or target warrior gains trample. None of these 3 abilities are to be taken lightly, right? Boosting up this creature by +1/+1, that's fantastic in several trading matters and just in general damage, right? Being able to make your opponent not be able to block with a creature for 1 single mana is pretty good, at least against your warriors again. And then of course giving trample for 1 mana is pretty standard, but in those times when you need it, you're going to be super happy you have it. Shatter Skull Smashing, I recommend if you do have this card, 2-3 copies is probably what you want. We have 1 off in this deck, but you know, I'm still filling out how many I want. So anyways, Shatter Skull, don't go over 3 for sure. These mythic lands are not ones that you want to run as 4 ofs, and even 3 ofs I recommend you have a little bit of caution with, right? But it is still very reasonable removal, and the fact that it's a shock land, or bolt land I guess is what we're calling them, it's pretty good. Maul of the Skyclaves, we sort of talked about this. As it enters the battlefield, it is going to go ahead and attach it, so you're not going to have to pay 3 and then pay 4. You're just going to enter it down, and then boom, bam, whatever creature you put it on, immediately +2/+2 has flying and first strike. And even if you don't have the Kor Blademaster out to give it double strike, that's still really good, right? That turns your Bonecrusher into a flying 6/5 with first strike, which is crazy. Anyways, speaking of Bonecrusher, 2 mana, you can deal 2 damage to any target. It's a 4/3, we've all seen it, we love it, and it's a non-creature, which means it is one of the strongest ways to proc Winota, right? Turn 2, you use your Bonecrusher Giant to remove one of their creatures. Turn 3, you play your Bonecrusher Giant. Turn 4, you play your Winota and swing in with the Bonecrusher Giant and see what you can grab, basically. Phoenix of Ash is actually a killer card. One, it's fantastic against rogues as they try to mill you all the time, and then whenever this card gets milled, you can actually escape it and return it right back to the battlefield. Not to mention the fact that it comes back with an additional +1/+1 counter, which means it has that magical 3 power, which you'll find is very important up against rogue decks. Rankle, Soaring Thought Thief, all of these things have 3 health. Not to mention the fact that it also has haste, so as soon as it enters battlefield, it's dealing damage, and for 3 mana, you can give it +2/+0, which means it's able a lot of times to help you finish out those games where you're like just a little bit off, right? Basri's Lieutenant in here as a one-off. Now, we don't have a whole lot of counter synergy, but we do have the Luminarch Aspirant, so that's nice. And whenever you grab Basri's Lieutenant with Winota, you're grabbing essentially a 4/5 with Vigilance, indestructible because of Winota, and it's swinging into attack and protection from multicolored. And if it does happen to die, or if any of your creatures with +1/+1 counter does happen to die, then you get this Knight back, which again is a non-human, so that's great for Winota because it's just a Knight and then it procs Winota. So all cool beans there. And then last but not least, we have Kenrith, who is the best human you could possibly grab with Winota, right? It's a 5/5 that gives all your creatures trample and haste, that can put counters, gain you life, draw you cards, return creatures from your graveyard onto the battlefield. It does it all, and it is the reason why we're playing these funky pathways in this deck, right? And the more red, white pathways you have, kind of the more I recommend you play. Now, don't obviously play 4 copies of like River Glide and Lava Guide, sort of space them out a little bit, but you'll notice that it's really actually good. You know, having 1 Brightclimb Pathway, it's not going to set off your whole deck. Whenever it comes down and you need the white mana, you have it, but in those weird niche situations where you want the Kenrith and you want the Kenrith to bring back your Winota, you're going to be begging for one of the pathways. So if you have the pathways, great, run Kenrith, run the pathways. If not, still recommend running Kenrith because it can still give your creatures trample and haste, which is super powerful, and you can also gain the 5 life, which means in mirror aggro decks, you can hopefully edge them out, right, thanks to the Kenrith. Last but not least, we have 2 copies of Embercleave, which I know a lot of people are like, shouldn't you be running more Embercleave given how strong it is? But it's actually kind of clunky in the meta right now, you know, with all the instant speed removal from rogues, with all the Brazen Borrowers that's coming down from Teamer. It's a little clunky. I think Winota's actually a little bit better value, and just having 2 Embercleaves is perfectly fine. But again, you don't ever want 2 Embercleaves in your hand. That's a very sad, sad day. So the best way to avoid that is to not run too many copies, right? Anyways, that's going to do it for the deck tech breakdown. Into the sideboard real quick, we have 2 copies of Giant Killer. Obviously, you're going to be siding these in whenever you go up against those OMNATH decks, or up against, you know, counter decks that build their creatures up really, really big. Ember's Shieldbreaker, again, against those Adventurer OMNATH sort of decks because you're trying to destroy the Lucky Clover. Thundering Rebuke, OMNATH decks. You'll see a little bit of a trend here, huh? OMNATH decks, big creature decks, there's a lot of them, even up against some control decks, right? 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Now, that's not going to kill a Yugen, but if your opponent's playing something like an Ashiok, that is very, very good. Skyclave Apparition, this one is just great in general. You don't want to run it in your main board because turn 1 in game 1 you're generally trying to output as much damage as quick as possible and just pick up that victory, easy peasy lemon squeezy. But once you see, you know, your opponent is playing OMNATH or they are playing control or whatever, you know, you might want to throw in Skyclave so you can actually take out their non-land permanents and not have to invest or lose too much, right? Because you still get a creature back, and if you lose the creature, it's not like they get that permanent back. Instead, they just get this illusion, which you can then remove. Phoenix of Ash, this course comes in more if you're playing against those rogue decks, because again, they're trying to mill you. If they do mill you and you hit a Phoenix, well, gee, thanks, you just added gas to my side of the board, right? Nahiri comes in against the control decks as you're able to create these core warriors and keep them pumping out, right? And it's a little bit harder to destroy planeswalkers than it is creatures, though we do still have the Blood Chief's Thirst or whatever. Also being able to attach the equipment for the free ski can really help in those control matchups where you're just trying to finish them. A lot of times in the control matchups, you'll get them so close and you just need to deal with that little bit extra. Nahiri can help you get there, right? And then last but not least, we have another copy of Kenrith. Of course, if you're in those mirror matchups, Kenny is a great choice because he just allows you to, well, like I said, edge yourself above the opponent, overpower them, gain more life, put the counters down, gain trample and haste. It's just sort of the catch-all answer in the mirror match, right? Anyways, all that being said and out of the way, thanks everybody for watching so long through this deck tech breakdown, wrap up, whatever you want to call it. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell icon if you want to see more content. As always, I appreciate the tons of support that everybody has been bringing here to the channel. And without further ado, let's hop into the matches. Austin B1024. We are going to play first here. And we are going to keep this here. I almost want to go ahead and play the Spike Field so we can guarantee have our mana come time. So that's what I'm going to do. That is what I'm going to do. Now, would we rather go for the Seasoned Hollowblade first or the Kargan Intimidator? It's 3 damage either way, and Hollowblade can actually protect itself, so let's go for the Hollowblade. On this next turn, we'll probably go for the Bonecrusher, because Bonecrusher into Winota is just good. Good. Make sure I'm clicking the right side. Y'all know me, since Magic has so many different mechanics where it's like, choose one side, and they're all like set up differently, you know, like the right side is the land, or the left side is the adventure. It's like hard for me to constantly remember, like, okay, this is adventure, I need to click this side. This is a land, I need to click that side. This is, you know what I mean? It's like, shit. When you're just playing with your friends on paper, I bet that is a little bit easier when you're like, yeah, this is what this, you know, you just say it. You don't have to like click or whatever. There is no missaying. Oakley dokley. Let's see that beanstalk ramp. Alright, so if it's blue, it's a brazen. If it's red, it's a Bonecrusher. Blue, it's a brazen. That's so unfortunate. It is so unfortunate for us. We might just want to mainboard the shield breakers. Like, depending on how oppressive the meta is that day when you go to play, depending on how many clovers are running around, you may just want to go ahead and run the shield breaker in your main board, because this shit will destroy you. Oh no, it's a Bonecrusher. Oh my goodness, am I ever so happy to see that. They're gonna take 4 points of damage just to kill the Bonecrusher. You're actually crazy. You realize that, right? You're like actually a little crazy. I do want to get Winota down. I think we gotta slam the Winota. What is up with all these freaking fracking lands? Am I right? But the Bonecrusher was our non-human to pull stuff with there. So again, praying for no brazen borrowers. Borrower against us is just horrific. Horrific. Now, the good thing about having all these lands in hand is we have plenty of stuff to discard for the Hollowblade, should it be targeted. Nope. Boy, I sure do love when an OMNATH hits the board. I don't think they've played a land this turn yet either, so... yeah, 4 life. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. It's crazy that a 4 mana card can generate 4 life every single turn while also generating 4 mana every single turn, right? I just want to know what happened at that pitch meeting. Hear me out, hear me out, hear me out. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be a 4/4, 4 mana, gain 4 life, gain 4 mana, deal 4 damage. And everyone's like, you're talking about an instant speed or a sorcery speed? Because that sounds a little too strong. And they're like, no, no, it's a creature. You're like, ah. Right? That's horrific. Bye-bye, Winota. You fought hard. Well, actually, you didn't fight at all. You just sort of hit the board and stayed there. You're a coward, OMNATH. You're a coward if I've ever seen one. Get him, Seasoned Hollowblade. Fuck him up. And then let's hit this little scry so we can see Selfless Savior. Well, that would have been helpful, I don't know, before? Do we even want the Selfless? I mean, half of me says yes, the other half says fuck no, Chance, because a borrower is just gonna destroy your hopes and dreams of that one. I spent 3 mana on my turn to deal 3 damage. They played 1 land down and gained 1 life net, right? You can't make this shit up, ladies and gentlefish. Ladies and gentlefish. Yeah. Oh. I'm happy that I had a chance in this game. You know what I mean? Like, just off the bat, I'm happy that the decisions I made impacted the outcome of this. Right? Because of smart decision making and wise choices, our opponent has been able to edge out the victory here. It is astounding, amazing, and absolutely ridiculous. I actually need the Scry land at this point. Like, I need all the knowledge I can get. By the way, fail on their Shatter Skull there, huh? Could you lose a little harder, Austin? Could you lose a little harder? Though I will say it's mistakes like that that keep me going, you know what I mean? It's shit like that that gives me hope that I could come back. Alright. You want to swing that OMNATH in too? I mean, I'll take the trade. No? Alright. What are you gonna do? Oh. Everyone's laughing at me now. They're like, yeah, Chance, keep another fucking untapped land now. Well, you're not really that good right here in this scenario. I'm not gonna lie to you. Well, you know. So we could choose the OMNATH, right? And they could be a coward again. We'll swing in with these two. Bonecrusher blocks Kargan. Season might get through, or they might block it with the edge wall. Even if Season does get through, we take them down to 12. They play 1 land. They're back up to 16 health. Hi, caramba. Alright, target creature, you're a coward. And then we gotta swing in, right? Like, we can't just hold back forever. We gotta make progress. So, we'll deal 1 point of damage to the opponent here. I mean, actually, net will have done nothing because, of course, it's OMNATH, right? So they hit a land, then right back to 15 health. I'm trying, all right? Cut me a break. I'm trying. So we can't have Kenny, good old Kenny G, come down and give haste and trample, so that's good. I mean, we're not doing terrible, right? Like, as much as I'm making jokes and all that, it's just because there's a big oh, you know what, actually? Oh, no. They can get their Beanstalk Giant down, so if all else... Oh, God. We're about to get beat with our own creature. This is not a happy sight. Oh, but we're drawing the land, so it's okay. Hey, look at that! Yeah, it's the same guy. I wish there was only allowed one legendary on the field at a time at all, you know, because that would make more sense in the sake of realism. And then as soon as you played a legendary, you just got to remove their legendary. Like if you were playing the same legendary, it's just whoop, gone. I kid a little bit. Another counter. That actually doesn't make sense. Like if you're gonna put counters, you definitely should have just put it on your OMNATH, right? So we have no choice. We like not keeping up the pressure is not the answer. That's for sure. That is for sure. Why they didn't just play down a Beanstalk Giant and have a fucking body, a wall, a solid being, I don't know. Although, no, yeah, never mind, I do. Because they turn around here and they just kill us, right? That's GG. I'm not going to sit here and wait for you all day, Austin. Because they just play down the Beanstalks. Alright, so Shield Breaker, you come on in. Giant Killer, you come on in. Let us see, let us see. I think Skyclave would be good too. Probably take out the Kor Blademasters, right? Probably. Kargan was actually alright there. I don't know that we want the Kenrith. So I don't ever want to draw a Kenrith. Like hitting it with Winota, cool, but I don't ever want to draw it. And Selfless is actually a little bit bad here. So is Maul though. Like, is Selfless better than Maul? We'll leave it like that. So, the thing with Maul is it's good against OMNATH, right? It's good against the OMNATH, the Beanstalk, the Bonecrusher, all these land creatures because it allows you to go overhead. But Brazen just bounces it, and then that's just 3 mana wasted, right? Yeah, really, game? Really? Jeez. I never wanted us to have a chance. We definitely discard a land here. I'm actually thinking we discarded the pathway. Because turn 1 we can play the Triumph and look for more land, right? Okay, well, whatever. that was easy. That was easy. Yawn. That is a total snooze. Total snooze party. Yeah, we pretty much need this. Just take that bad boy. Let's hope they don't have a Bonecrusher, right? Right. Alright. We got Winota. Problem is, again, Season doesn't proc Winota, so we really need that Skyclave to stay put. Oh, holy fuck. Sheesh. This is going to be great. Yeah. Luminarch Asper, don't mind if I do. It's only a little 1-1 right now, but oh boy, when it gets bigger. That's what she said. Let's just discard the land, yeah? Yeah. So only getting in for 3 here. We still do have, you know, a Luminarch down that can start building out our Skyclave and that kind of stuff, making it a little bit harder to kill. And I do think we should build on the Skyclave first and foremost, as we don't want it to die. Granted, they won't get the Lucky Clover back. They do get an extra blocker. Maybe we actually want it to go to the Winota. Okay, so they have Brazen here. They for sure have the Borrower. Actually, we have to put this on Luminarch off the bat, right? Because if we don't, and here comes Borrower. Bounce Winota. I'm okay with that. I thought about using my Bonecrusher to destroy it, but in all reality, I can use my Bonecrusher to destroy that thing. Right here. Right. And now we're just swinging in with good damage. I do think we have to keep this alive. Although that would have been our Bonecrusher down in place of the Seasoned Hollowblade. You know what? I think I made a mistake there. We should have played, like, we should have let Hollowblade die. Played the land, played the Bonecrusher. Or we shouldn't have swung in with the Seasoned Hollowblade. That's fine. You live and you learn. We make some mistakes and you make it back up. We're doing decent against them. Problem is, you know, this deck, it doesn't need much to come back because it has so much utility, so many creatures from so many different angles and whatnot. Anyways, Austin, show me what you got. Okay. I have this super big fear now of accidentally muting myself because I did it. I did it the other day and I didn't mean to. I did it and I did not mean to. So I think we just play down our own Bonecrusher. Next to combat. We can't simply build Winota, as that won't work. We can put a counter on Seasoned Hollowblade, so that way he can't die. But again, I feel like, let's just put a counter on Season. If I swing in here, they block with Bonecrusher. We discard Kargan, but we did trade out, so I still feel like that's fun. They can't simply block with Fae of Wishes, so. They cannot, they cannot. They do make that block. I think this is worth it. Cool beans. Alright, so if we can get a chance to swing in here with the Bonecrusher, the Luminarch, the Season, the Winota, we could potentially just knock them out, right? Problem is, come next game, they'll be on the play. All right. Ooh. All right, Lieutenant. All right. So now Luminarch can take out their Bonecrusher if need be. We can give Trample to one of our warriors if need be. This is lethal. I think we have lethal actually. Let's see if they'll figure it out. 4-3 has to block the 3-3. Or the 3-4. That works as well, yeah. Okay, we don't, yeah, that's fine. I was gonna say, we don't even need to give trample, they just let us in. Alright, so 1-1 with this OMNATH. I'm actually alright with that. Oh shit, we need Thundering Rebuke too, don't we? Do I want Thundering Rebuke? Do I? I mean, we do already have 4 copies of Giant Killer. We saw Luminarch. Though she wasn't fantastic, she still did do her job there. I almost want to take Maul out completely, but as long as they don't have a Brazen Bar, Maul is... it's beautiful, right? It's just gorgeous. One extra Thundering Rebuke does help us, right? So we have 4, 5... 6 maybe to deal and take out one Selfless, because again Selfless doesn't feel as good up against things with bar. Alright, let's give it a go. 1-1. Austin, let's see if your OMNATH deck has what it takes. Holy Bonecrusher, Batman. Yikes. On the one half, I mean, cool, but realistically, is it good in the matchup, right? I haven't seen any Cobras from him, which means they're probably just playing the adventures. If we could guarantee hit another land, I'm like all for this hand. And obviously we can't guarantee that, but a cheeky little temple in turn 1 can help bolster. I'm actually gonna be super greedy and look for another land. Phoenix Vash, while strong, oh man, it is also flying. That is so freaking pog, isn't it? But if they end up bouncing it, it's not pog. I think I gotta look for land. I enjoy the Phoenix, I do, but we have a full, like, playable hand here. I'd like to find some more land. Well, I'll be. Look at that. You get rid of one and another shall appear. Now, do I go ahead and go for the pathway and then keep mana up for Bonecrusher and trust that we can hit it next turn? I don't think so. I don't think so. Also, since Branchloft is going to be a white mana, we'll have enough mana for Embercleave, so that's really good. For people wondering also why we're playing the pathways in just a Boros deck, it's for the Kenrith, right? So those off chances when you have Kenrith come down, you're not like screwed, so to speak. You know what's real shitty about Thundering is it only does 4 and Love Struck is a 5. Alright, so we're more than likely going to Skyclave the Love Struck. So then for right now, what do I want to do? What's the best possible outcome for me? Is it just slam down Phoenix, get in damage? I think so, actually. Like, we could also play a 4-3 Bonecrusher, right? And just start building that up, but Bonecrusher does have a little bit more utility out of just being a solid body. And if I can constantly be getting in with the Phoenix of Ash as compared to getting chum blocked and shit like that with the Bonecrusher, I think Phoenix might be a little bit of a safer call, right? We'll have to see, though. Of course, Thundering plus Spikefield does allow us to take out Lovestruck, right? That is 5 damage, and it's an exile. Not that they care about Graveyard, right? Not that Euro's gone now. Alright. So they more than likely have a Bonecrusher Giant to destroy our creature here. There's no way to get around that, huh? Alright, well, let's see it then. Show me your Bonecrusher. No. Well, I'll be. That's really, that's a treat. That is a treat. Alright, well, let's just get down our Bonecrusher then, shall we? How'd you get to 5 mana so quickly? Beanstalk, and then just, wow, Fabled City. It is the Fabled City. Four mana means we can Kargan and Thundering. Or, you know, Kargan, Thundering, and Bonecrusher, or 2 Bonecrushers. Escape to the Wilds, not something you want to see. I see 2 Lucky Clovers in your hand. Okay, so Luminarch is really good because it allows us to build the Phoenix. Skyclave comes down next turn. Do I Bonecrusher their 1/1 so I'm getting in with that damage as well, or do I use Kargan? You will get out this here, you puny 1/1. Alright. Build. Build it. They're down to 9. They have 6 mana. Lucky Clover comes down. They have 4. What do they do with 4 mana? Bonecrusher for 2. That gives them 6 damage. Thankfully, they can't split it, so they can't kill Phoenix and Bonecrusher. They could kill Phoenix and Luminarch. Still leaves me with a Bonecrusher, though, right? Yes. Indeed. Wow, opponent, you're really predictable. Alright, so we have to have Skyclave come down here, because we can't allow them to have double Clover for, well, really any longer than what we already have, right? And that's sorcery, isn't it? Yeah. This isn't enough to really kill anything, so let's just get in, let's get down Kargan, right? We'll take him down to 5 life. Holy bananas, are we about to freaking win against this OMNATH deck? I'm certainly trying my pants off right now. I'm not gonna lie to you, ladies and gentlemen. We are doing the best we... Fuck! You know, Austin, I don't like you. Alrighty, so... For the love of God, do not have a mother freaking frackin', what's it called? Brazen. Please, don't have a Brazen. For the love of God, don't have a Brazen. Ah, no freaking way. That's a GG, ladies and gentlemen. Boros Winota taking down OMNATH. And they got to go first twice. Alright, we will play first. My goodness, that is a beautiful and ugly ass hand all in one. Ah! What are you doing to me, game? Come on. Holy horrific, Batman. Oh. So much stress. So much freaking stress. Alright. We played the Kor Blademaster because it has the double strike, so it can actually block the speaker, whereas Kargan cannot. Right? I suppose we could have also used Spikefield Hazard and just popped him. Popped him one good time on the face. And then we could have used Temple, which would have left us room for our Phoenix. That doesn't make any sense. You don't know how magic works, do you? You are not familiar with this kind of magic. Alright. Take out the Null Priest, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, and then we get down Kargan, right? Get in for the cheeky 2 damage. Pop. Pop. Yeah, they obviously don't know how double strike works. It's okay. It confuses the best of us. It gets the best of us. Alright, so we'll get a Scry on. Season Hollowblade. Yeah, I mean, it is pretty good. D's pretty good. So we want... yeah, we want you to become a coward. You know, I'm not trying to insult you, but at the same time, you know, if the shoe fits, lace that bitch up. Alright, so we'll get down another Kor Blademaster, and we're just going to flood the field. Potentially should have bottomed that Seasoned Hollowblade to start looking for, you know, Winota's, Embercleave's, stuff to actually finish the game off. But I think there's a certain merit about Hollowblade. Bloodchief's Thirst, certainly not fantastic for us, but we do still have the Double Strikers, which just go straight through the Arcfiends, right? So that's nice. Surely they won't make the same mistake again. Nope, they did not. So do we just go for the Phoenix of Ash overhead? I think so. I think so. Now they could double block one Arcfiend onto one Kor Blademaster, but I mean, I guess. So they're gonna gain 1 life there, going down to 7. Alright. We pump it, that deals 4. They are for sure gonna swing in with a rod. We definitely want you down. I don't think we wanna play this so we can pump that. I think we just wanna swing in here, take them down to 5. And then have this to discard to keep the Hollowblade alive, basically. Drana. What? Is this back to the battlefield? It is. Wow, that is fucking terrifying. Is that really how you want to do that? Alright, well, it's your choice. It is Aura's funeral, okay? And just let it be known. I tried to... Whoa, that's kind of cool. It's all golden. Alright, so now they get a 5/5. My goodness, man. We can't even just overpower them either, you know? Like, I can swing in with Season, but it just dies to both their creatures. I can swing in with Phoenix, but again, doesn't actually get big enough. Well, fuck me, that's horrific. What do I need? I need like an Embercleave, right? And I need them to not gain life. Fuck's sake, don't gain life. So they're definitely swinging in with Drana, yeah. Surprise, surprise. Yeah, we can't bring back the other one. Well, I think we lost here just off of the speed. We weren't quite quick enough. Not quite quick enough. And we hit way too many fucking lands. Alright, that's GG. They're just gonna proc veto on their next turn, give everything a lifelink, and then we're not coming back from that shit for damn sure. Alright, Thundering Rebuke we saw is gonna be great in this matchup. I don't think they have any artifacts, so we'll leave you out. Skyclave is Skyclave good? Yeah, it seems alright. And we'll bring in the giant killers. Phoenix Vesh, I don't know. I didn't know. Selfless Savior's fine. Spikefield Hazard. I mean, we have to get that out like ASAP. Kor Blademaster sort of loses its luster. And Kargan just constantly dies to those 1/1s. Seasoned, I don't mind as much. Although Kargan can make them into cowards and then we can get through them. I think this is how we want it. Again, certain merit could be said about Phoenix Vash. Two's probably fine. 2 is probably fine on the Phoenix. Alright. They got us in the game 1, but we get to play first now. And our first hand in that game 1 was fucking dog shit, let's be real. Alright? I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. That we got fucked, okay? We got fucked and it wasn't pleasant. But it's okay, because we're back to reclaimeth thy victory. We're gonna hold on to 1 giant killer, but I don't like simply not playing anything if we have an open free board, right? To me, that's just crazy talk. That is just crazy. Alright. Well, now you're just making this too easy on me, huh? You just keep putting down these creatures that I can just keep on slaying. Tabarax we actually can't just slay. 2 mana, we can tap it though. I'd almost rather just get down Bonecrusher. Bonecrusher will have the 1 mana for Alseid. Luminarch is a bit worrisome. Hell, maybe we should have left this Well, no, we didn't take out any Bone Crushers, did we? I was about to say maybe we should have left the Bone Crushers in, but did not take any out. Lieutenant, interesting. I had a feeling they were gonna block there. But this is fine, because if they use their Luminarch to build their Tabarax 1 more, then we can use Giant Killer to take it out, right? Or equally so, we can use Thundering Rebuke. I'm trying to think about the best plays as far as the following turns go. Actually, Thundering Rebuke's probably going onto the Veto. Giant Killer's probably going onto the Taborax. Then they'll just be left with Illumin. No, come on, motherfucker. Alright, this is fine. We just swing in with Bonecrusher, right? And with Basri. Leave all of our mana up. They chum block again. That counter will go on to Taborax. Fuck, we should have Thundering before we attacked there, so we could have went ahead and taken out the Veto, because we didn't... Like, Veto had no part of that equation, so we just took 2 damage for no reason. Oh, that cost 3 mana. Oh my god, what a big blunder. That's fine. Still rather have Taborax out of the way than Veto. We don't need any more land. Absolutely don't. It's fine. Now we have 1 mana left over for the Alseid for Basri. Yeah, I mean, I guess 2 mana would be a little ridiculous on that, wouldn't it? Alright. The problem is their deck has so much goddamn life gain. It's fine, because we have Thundering Rebuke to take care of the Aura, but the Aura then brings back something else, and so it's like a never-ending cycle. Could just pay 2 mana to tap the Aura, but I think it's about to get, like, too big, right? So, 2 mana, tap this, we can swing in here. Or we can just kill it and go for the kill on whatever it brings back. Or I just go for Thundering on Veto now, but then they bring Taborax back, right? Don't get a block off there. Alright. We swing in with these 2. I think they'll block with the Ra. If not, even better. But I think they will. Yeah. And while we're swinging in first is because I don't plan on killing what we kill with Aura. Does that make sense? Or whatever Aura brings back, I don't plan on killing. Sorry. Them blocking with Veto like threw me off. I was like, what are you doing? You crazy little goose. You crazy, crazy little goose. Alright, so it's a 3/3. Maybe we do. Maybe we do just go ahead and pop it. Pop it, lock it, drop it. Isn't that how the song goes? Something like that. Oh no. So this has been a very long, strange game of Magic, right? The first one they came out and just sort of slapped us a little bit, clapped our cheeks, if you will. This one we're doing a lot better thanks to the Thunderings and the Giant Killers, but you know, I wouldn't be opposed if we were to hit Winota or an Embercleave. Oh, you bitch. Taking out my Alseid. That's a Winota proc. Damn it, always with the lands. Hey guys, you want to play anything fun today? No, thanks, I'll just play some lands. Fuck. Alright, well, I don't even want to tap your fucking Veto. I want you to chum block. I want you to chum block. Oh, well, shit, I guess I don't. Because, yeah, Basri. Whatever. Shut up, audience. Might as well get down the Giant Killers. Build our army. Yeah, so if I could hit a Winota or an Embercleave, anything except for a land, that'd be great, game. That would be dandy. That's gonna give me a fucking selfless. Watch this shit. You said anything except for an Embercleave, right? Or anything except for a land. Goodness gracious. I'm getting all kinds of tongue-tied this morning. At least I'm a little bit more awake, though. You have a little bit of coffee, you tend to get a little awoken. Though I will say, that coffee's not that good. Of course, sometimes bad coffee is an even better way to wake up, right? I'm sure all my coffee drinkers out there will agree, you know? If you're used to your, if you're used to your coffee in the mornings, the way you like it, or your tea, or your whatever you may drink, right? And you have it, you know, every day, or every other day, or whatever your routine is. And then you come upon a day where you get different coffee. You're like, what has the world done to me? What have I done to deserve this shit? Right? And it's not even that it's bad coffee. It's just, it's not your flavor, right? It's not your flavoring. Get them! Quick while their defenses are down. Smash them, bash them, fuck them up, let them have it. I keep waiting for them to have a combat trick here for the Luminarch, right? They don't have a combat trick. No combat trick. But we are taking them down. So I guess we should have just taken out the Luminarch Aspirant there, huh? Like we should have... Oh, no. What am I talking about? You little freaking goofball chance. I feel like I always miss that. I don't miss it, but you know. Alright, well that game went a hell of a lot better, yeah? I think we're good. I think I'm gonna keep what I have. Now, opponent does get to go first, so that's unfortunate, but... Goodness gracious. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I keep getting coffee stash. Alright, let's see if we can pull out another victory. Waiting on the opponent. Let's see what you got, Chig. I can't keep this, can I? I mean, it has solid lands. We have an Embercleave with a Skyclave for some removal, but their deck is too fast for us to reliably get to this. You know what? Fuck it. If we were going first, I'd say probably not. But we're going second, which means we get a card draw here. It's freaking land. Ah! I need creatures. But I can't turn down Thundering. Man, this is so annoying. I did not need 5 lands. It is my fault, I suppose, for keeping a 4-land hand. Absolutely crazy of me to do that. There's no way I'm Thundering a little fucking 1/1. Alright, what's best case scenario here? Because I don't really feel like... Okay, well, never mind, they just played a veto. I was gonna say, I don't really feel like taking Speaker with our Skyclave is like an actual option, you know? That's not a real deal. Do we want to do this, or do we want to just Thundering Rebuke veto, actually? I mean, we do need creatures down. Come next turn, we're gonna have 4 mana. Not really anything to do with 4 mana, I suppose. I mean, I guess if we hit a Winota, that would be the big difference, right? If we hit Winota, then we'll be happy that we went with the Skyclave. So, we do have 3 Winotas in deck. It's not like it's impossible. We'll see. 3 out of 50. I don't know what those odds are. 2 out of 50 is like 1 in 25, which is not fantastic odds, right? It's like... I was gonna say 4%, but I don't think it's 4%. I think my math is like all kinds of twisted turns around and confused there. We actually have to allow this to happen to us, which is, again, unfortunate, but it is the way the cookie crumbles. Here at the Keebler house. And actually, as unfortunate as this may sound, we need to kill that Luminarch. Luminarch is going to continuously build their shit, and we just can't afford it. We just can't. Yep. Yep. No need to attack. We have our Selfless to protect our Skyclave if things get ugly. And again, if we hit a Winota, you know, that's not bad. There's 2 procs on her. I'll still be pretty happy. We do have enough mana for our Kenrith or our Embercleave come next turn, just depending on what, you know, which way we want to swing that golf club. Come on, you just click on the right thing, god damn you. So that's certainly worth it in my opinion. Yeah, the Taperax gets a little bit of a counter, but we're... Ooh. Is that worth it though, right? Like, because if I swing in with Skyclave, it's definitely dying to the Taperax. Whereas if I put something like Kenny down, come next turn, I can swing in with Winota and give everything trample. But I don't have a way of giving... Okay, alright, here's what we do. I don't love it, but I don't think we can swing it with Skyclave. Now, we do run the risk of them removing our Winota and us getting nothing out of it. But imagine a situation where we swing it with Skyclave, we hit nothing, and they remove our Winota. Then we've just lost everything, right? So as much as I hate playing Winota and not swinging in, not going for the fences, I think this is best because it sets us up for the Embercleave on the next turn. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. We can't control that. But it sets us up for the Embercleave on this turn, which is essentially what I was getting at, right? We're not going to Embercleave unless they go to block it. Okay, they don't. We got to put down Kenny. Old Kenny G. I suppose actually putting down Kenrith, giving him haste, and swinging him with him over Winota was the better option, as that is 1 extra damage. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I did miss out on 1 damage there. Yo, you shouldn't really use Sorcery Speed Village Rites. It's not a pretty sight. Of course, I guess if they're looking for that removal because they're like, yo, bro, you got a Winota and a Kenny, that's a little more understandable. Mangara. Mangara the Diplomat. So Tabarax probably getting in for another 3, taking us down to 9 here. Not fantastic, but we'll be alright. We'll live to see another day, you know what I mean? We do, of course, have Kenrith, which can give us life. Give me liberty, give me life, or give me death. Something like that, isn't it? I don't know the full saying. Or the full quote, if you will. Alright, so we swing with both. We have 4 mana. We could put down Bonecrusher, give all creatures haste, but I think swinging in with Embercleave is better than that. Yeah, you draw your card, you little bitch. Yeah, you draw your 2 cards, you little bitch. This will be, what, 16 points of damage? You're down to 4 life. Oh, man. I've never felt so much stress. That's not true. Let me just stop myself before I go off telling a complete lie. But this is very stressful. I guess there is... Okay, so playing down the Bonecrusher could have procced the Winota. I guess there is that merit. God, the decisions with this deck is so difficult. But I do also like the fact that I'm able to, you know, tell y'all the other routes of play that you could have done, and then maybe, you know, when it comes to you, maybe you'll value the Winota more and, you know, go for that sort of line. But I think for the time being, like, this is how we needed to do it. It's not, oh my god. The chum blockers are real, ladies and gentlemen. They are so Alright, so we're going down 6. We're going down to 3 life here. No, they're leaving Mangara. Okay, Thundering Rebuke is actually pog as fuck. Alright, so Bonecrusher comes down. 1. We could gain 5 life though. Like give haste and give 5 life. But Tabarex, right. Alright, so this, and then we're gonna need to do this at sorcery speed, right? So that way this doesn't build. Yeah, they get to draw another goddamn card. Because I cast 2 spells, they get to draw a card, so that's unfortunate. Another Speaker of the Heavens. Alright, and then we just gotta, well, do what we do best. Swing in with Kenny G, swing in with Winota, and swing in with Bonecrusher. They get to draw another card. Winota, we hit a Seasoned Hollowblade. That's decent. That is decent. The other really good thing is we can pay that 1 extra red mana we have over there and give the Seasoned Hollowblade trample. So that's going to be really key here, as that is 2 extra points of damage that they're maybe not thinking about, right? Maybe not even thinking about. All of their creatures have life gain, though. Every single one of them. Man, that's freaking crazy. All right, so they're trying to figure out how to block the Kenny G here. I'm sure of it. Really? I mean, you gotta block Kenrith. You can't not. You cannot not. I am a little surprised by that. All right, so view battlefield. This is for the Bonecrusher, so you're just gonna go all the way through them, right? Yeah. So done there. This is for the Winota. I'd rather kill you, because with the Hierophant, they get more people back. You keep giving them card draw, I think. Although this does keep getting them creatures back from the graveyard. I guess the card draw is worse. And then haste. Or trample, I mean, for the Hollowblade. Oh, you... They didn't block anybody! What did I tell you? You have to block the Embercleave. My goodness. That was just... that was funny. Yeah, you have to block the Embercleave, folks. So 2-0 with Boros.